Hey guys, it's Ted. Just wanted to jump in the front of the podcast to let you guys know that I'm actually recording this after we just recorded our newest episode. And we actually just realized that after we got done recording, the first 6 minutes of the podcast didn't process correctly. And unfortunately, we lost the beginning chunk of the podcast. So we want to go ahead and apologize to the fans for that. So when the episode starts and you hear us in the middle of a conversation, that kind of explains why. But we want to apologize for that. We're still getting it together. We'll be better next week. But basically, this episode we discussed our thoughts on the NBA trade deadline that just passed. We gave our instant reactions, what we thought our winners and losers were, and if we thought there were any changes to the title picture. And in the first 6 minutes that didn't make the episode, we're actually in the middle of discussing our instant reactions. We all agreed that this trade deadline was a dud. It didn't live up to the expectations that the NBA trade deadline usually is, which we kind of expected as the days were dwindling down. But overall, it wasn't anything too special. We kind of agreed that the teams that needed to make the trades made the trades, and the team that stood pat, is explainable that they stood pat, but that's basically all you missed. But apologize for the technical difficulties again. We'll be better next week, and hope you enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the best basketball podcast in the nation. This is 5 on 5.
As I was saying, Xavier Tillman adds something that the Celtics I think really needed, which is a bit of toughness, or another piece of toughness that can handle pressure from either the other team or just the pressure of the game. And I think it's like it's going to give them the ability to play in different lineups as well. Like if Porzingis is for whatever reason not doing his job, they can add in Tillman and play small. I've seen Tillman play the 5 while I was watching the Grizzlies, and it's very different from other lineups. It's kind of like, not to say it's like Draymond-ish in a way, but it is. So I like it. I like the move, and low key move you guys got was adding Springer from the
Jaden
Sixers.
Springer.
I like what I've seen from him. I know he didn't get much burn and didn't get to show much on the Sixers, but from what I've seen, he's going to be a solid player, hopefully. So nice solidified player y'all got, and nice steal.
Jaden Springer's not going to get burned on the Celtics either, but it's good to have
You don't know that.
a good young player.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You think he's taking
Hey,
Pritchard's
there's a
minute?
You don't
Pritchard
know.
There's a perfectly good
Pritchard
Walsh.
is not getting
There's a
his
perfectly
minutes
good
taken.
Walsh that's been waiting to play too.
Oh, yeah,
we've gotten
Jordan
some
Walsh.
good Walsh minutes last couple of days.
Yeah.
Good minutes.
I'm sorry,
So
Jaden Springer.
I think we didn't get Big Fish's initial
what do you think,
thoughts on
Big
the trade
Fish?
deadline.
Overall, this deadline would have been better, but like you guys are forgetting that Siakam was moved early. OG was moved early. So it would have been a bigger splash if they held out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
One supporting point. I don't really want to talk about the Celtics, but one supporting point to the Tillman addition.
Accusation.
The guy is. I know. I tried to go for it, but I was
Took a chance.
The guy is a phenomenal defender. Not even just okay. I'm talking about he ranks 91% in rim shots contested, rim contest, blocks, block rate on contest, all this stuff. He's A to A pluses across the board. So we just added a baby Horford with no offensive bag at all. So we'll see how that goes.
I would have said
there's
zero
that-
offensive bag. He doesn't have zero offensive bag.
No, he's he's terrible on offense.
I mean,
He's one of the worst. He's one of the worst finishers in the league.
I know,
But do we need him for offense, though?
But he looks like he's trying so hard. Big
But
Fish, he looks
need
like
for offense. I didn't say none of that. All I said was he has no bag. He's bad at finishing. That's all I said.
Yeah,
that's all I said.
I think Taco Fall has no bag. I think Xavier Tillman just
you don't know that
sometimes.
He never got a fair shake.
Taco
never got a fair shake. But shout out to Brad Stevens. I didn't need to see this trade to know that he's the best GM in the league. He has no peers in this league, straight up. He's doing what Danny Ainge couldn't do. Have relationships, all right, with people. Danny Ainge over there trying to freaking... I'm not going to say the word I was thinking about. But he's out there trying to bully everybody, all right?
Yeah, you can't fleece everybody.
Yeah. I like that. I don't know if we've ever seen a Sixers Celtics trade. I'm really trying to think about it. I haven't seen one in a while.
But those relationships open back up.
But also, Sixers giving Milwaukee Pat Bev for like what would they trade? Cameron Payne and like one other person and like a second round. Insane. Who cares about the East?
No, I don't want you to get away. I don't want you to get away from anything. You're not going to do anything. Let's just stop right there. Hold up. Sadik, do you have anything to say about the deadline?
I mean, I think the obvious.
No, I don't like what Big Fish tried doing there because we're not going to get away from anything. We will come back to those trades that you just talked about. But go ahead, Sadik.
I think the obvious big one. I think Buddy Hield's finally getting out of Indy. I feel like Buddy Hield is one of those guys that every team wants, but every trade deadline he's connected to someone. Like, and for a while he was stuck on the Kings, and people kept talking about him. And they went to Indiana. Like, for how many years now have you heard Buddy Hield at their trade deadline? Everyone wants Buddy Hield.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finally went to a team, a championship contender, and their best player is out for weeks. So I just feel like Buddy Hield keeps getting stuck in purgatory.
No, but when Embiid comes back, it could be a great addition because
shooters. We don't know. I didn't even know this, but Buddy Hield's 31. Wow.
But the thing is, shooters like Buddy Hield, they do well playing with Joel Embiid. Like, remember, Seth Curry played his best years playing with Joel Embiid. So when he attracts stuff in the paint, then Buddy Hield could really shine. But right now, it's going to be some dog days.
I was hoping Buddy Hield wouldn't end up being just a shooter in this league. I wanted him to get he hasn't gotten his chance, or I don't know if he's maybe just not that player, but I thought I would really see him become what he was in college, like a flamethrower. You know what I mean? Like someone who can do it all on the court. But I guess the NBA just really changes who you are.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not saying he's like a bad player or anything. I'm just saying
he's really good at shooting, but not really other than that, especially the last few years.
He's historic at shooting.
Great shooter.
He's historic.
So we did want to get into. I know someone kind of just jumped the gun a little bit, but we did want to get into who we thought were the winners and the losers of the deadline. I know we all kind of agreed that the Celtics made a big splash.
I thought Knicks were the winners for the East.
Overall, just in the East.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just honestly as much as I want to agree. I mean,
for being aggressive like that, I think Knicks are.
Yeah, if you put together actually their collection of moves, now that I think about it, from when they started with the OG trade till now, or even if you want to go back even further with DiVincenzo, I don't know I can't remember if he was a free agent or if they picked him up through a trade, but DiVincenzo has been amazing for them.
Yeah.
Getting OG has been amazing for them, and then getting back Alec Burks, who. He's a player that you've wanted before.
I like Burks.
He's going to give you 14 to 18 off the bench, which they lost in trading away quickly
as well.
Yeah, trading away quickly, and RJ self creation. He's also not a bad defender. I've watched him play in his Knicks days a few years ago, and he was actually a very solid defender. Yeah, and then adding Bogdanovich. This is a sneaky one. He's a great offensive player. This is someone who help them. This is someone who averages 20 in the NBA. So they added another 20-point per game scorer.
With no help. There's no one on Detroit doing anything for him.
Exactly. And you know what? I actually thought he kind of fell off because I wasn't really watching him. But in the days in Utah, especially when they needed him the most, he was a killer. He was a
Exactly.
killer.
Yeah. He could run the offense for stretches, so the Knicks are going to use that.
Don't let it go under the radar. They haven't even dealt a single first round pick in any of these trades yet.
Exactly.
Shout out to New York. All right, the CTE is finally disappearing a little bit.
It really is. I've been telling you, they've been very rational with a lot of their moves. Everyone keeps talking about the big trade that they should make, but I feel like in the NBA, and they're showing you can make all the other trades first.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've done everything in their power to cultivate a roster in which a star could fit right in, or maybe is already there with Brunson or Randall.
They've maximized him really well.
Exactly.
Who cares if anyone else doesn't think they're contenders or not? They're treating themselves like contenders.
Exactly, and I think that's the way to go about it in this league, because then you end up with the other way around, which is adding the star first, or just saying F it and getting all the firepower right now, and then you end up with a situation like many of the KD teams have been in the past, where there's no depth. You got 3-point guards on the floor, like Dragic, Patty Mills, and who's the third one? I forgot, but you end up playing with lineups that don't look right, and it doesn't work out for you. So I definitely like what they're doing. And I'm sorry I'm going on a rant, but I also did want to say the East. I think the East really went to work. And honestly, there's a few in the West too. But like that's why I was saying the contenders, I think all the contenders who really wanted to win did what they needed to do. Like Pat Bev being added to the Bucks, that's an amazing move. They needed something that resembles defense.
They needed something.
Something that resembles defense. Sure, it wasn't Caruso, which we all thought would be like a great fit for them. But Pat Bev is damn good at making sure that you're at least competitive on defense by either looking like you're competitive or actually being competitive. So I definitely give kudos to a lot of the East contenders. The Buddy Hield one, Embiid's injured. I don't know what they're really doing. Maybe we'll see what they're doing later on. But I think the top teams in the East really made some great moves.
Real quick to Guled's point, one of our followers brought up Pat Bev is going to light some fire under Dame's ass. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a plus, which I do. I'm not really high on Pat Bev, but I do see that happening. All right, that's it.
I already seen him with the clipboard and Brook Lopez being pissed off at him.
Yeah, I mean, you see how coaches have their guys like Doc Rivers. One of his guys is Patrick Beverley. If you see Doc Rivers on the team, there's a chance he's gonna try to grab Patrick Beverley. But I agree with both of you guys. Winners. I think the Knicks is definitely a winner. They're already in good position in the East, and they only help their offensive firepower with Bogdanovich.
Without sacrificing defense.
Yeah, they didn't even sacrifice defense. They have Bogdanovich, who could literally run the offense for minutes, for minute stretches. And I don't think he's going to be closing. I don't think he's even going to be starting. But him coming off the bench,
he could.
You never know what tips. But I don't think he's going to be starting. But
I don't think so either.
Off the bench is crazy.
Why doesn't he close? You got Brunson, you got Dante, OG. You get a little freaky with the small ball. You could do Bogdan. You could do a little Randall.
No, Tibbs is not a fan of small ball. He wants to pound the boards. Like he loves.
OG might change that though, because the thing about OG, he kind of switches it up. He could play 4 sometimes if you really want to be psycho.
I trust him to play the 5. I trust him to play the 5
if you want
over
to be
Randall.
Psycho,
over Randall.
You could put OG at the 5. I stretch it because he could defend 1 through 5, not the whole game, but for minute stretches. But for my winner, I'm going to throw one. I know, Guled, you said all the contenders did what they need to do. What I'm going to say is going to contradict what I said last week, but I have a team that's a winner that is not in the championship race, and it's the Atlanta Hawks. And the thing about the Atlanta Hawks is they actually stood pat. They didn't do anything, despite having interest in Dejounte Murray and some of their young talent. And the thing about them is I like that they didn't make a move because they knew, like, Landry Fields, the GM, he actually said after trade deadline, he knows what they want to do and they're not willing to give up any players for a discount. And if the Atlanta Hawks, if they know they're not going to win the title this year, they don't see why they should help other teams and give them their top players for a discount. So the teams that were asking about their top players like Dejounte Murray, like DeAndre Hunter, they're still going to call in the offseason. So I like the fact that they stood pat and they're going to still take them calls in the summer, and they could just develop their young players and continue to get their chemistry going. So that's what I got for these.
I wanted to add something to that before we move over to the West winners. I think that's another theme of this deadline was I think the new apron and the new CBA rules have made trades so much more like you have to be way more calculated in what you do. Like you can't just be emotional with the decisions that you make because you could really put your franchise back a few seasons. So I like that the teams that were being pressured to do, except the Bulls, by the way, except the Bulls.
Oh, please don't listen. Save me the Bulls because I'm ready for them. Save me the Bulls.
Oh God, come on, bro! Don't go on a spiel. But we'll talk about them when we talk about all the losers. I was gonna say though that I do think that the Hawks can turn around and get a good return for DeJounte Murray because I look at him like a player similar to Drew Holiday, and I think Drew Holiday was gotten a good return by the Bucks. I think they got a good set of players for him. I can't remember the exact trade. So I do like that teams that are in that same position where, everyone's saying they should make a move have exercised more patience because, even though I criticize the Raptors about waiting so long to trade their players, I still do think that you should maximize your return and not be focused on just trading for fun, like people have done in the past. So I think the new CBA rules definitely have an effect on that. And with all that being said, I think we should transition over to the West because I know there's a lot going on in the East, but there was a lot going on in the West too, with a lot of the contenders moving. And the funny thing about the West is their contenders instead of 1 through 4 is like literally 1 through 8. Like there's a lot of different people in there that I can definitely see making it to the NBA Finals. I do think my favorite move overall from the West this favorite team instead of moves was the Suns adding Royce O'Neal and David Roddy from the Grizzlies. They traded away Metu, Watanabe, traded away a first. They traded away Bates Diop and Jordan Goodwin. But getting back Royce O'Neal, who Kevin Durant's familiar with, gives them some shooting, gives them a little bit of wing depth, and getting David Roddy from the Grizzlies, who I personally like. He's a young player. They call him Big Body Roddy if you're not familiar with him. He's he gets aggressive. He can get to the rack. He's a big body, like I just mentioned, and gives them, again, some toughness and wing depth. I do like what the Suns did there. They flipped around their minimum players and got back a good young player and a solid, veteran who Kevin Durant's familiar with. So I think that's my favorite move. I don't know if you guys want me to continue on with something I like, unless I want to jump in and.
No, I'll jump in. I'll say this. And my favorite move, this is only purely personal. It has nothing to do with team
I know
fit.
he's going to say.
You know exactly what I'm going to say. It has nothing to do with team fit. The players washed anyway, so not washed, that's me, but he's obviously now become a end of bench, maybe the ninth role player on your team. I'm also happy that Gordon Hayward is free from Charlotte and all those thugs over there. Yeah, I said thugs.
All the thugs over there.
I said it, and I stand by it. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, man, you're right, man. But there's some thugs over there.
You said 9th best. Hey, he get healthy. He's definitely taking Giddey's minutes. Definitely. I'm not
taking his minutes, not just because of that.
No, he's a better player.
Never know.
Maybe
he's a better.
Maybe a pre-COVID he's a better player, but I think and we all a lot of people laughing, but I was when something signed Gordon Hayward, I will never forgive Kyrie Irving for ever throwing that lob. Never forgive him.
We're not gonna forgive Kyrie, but we're not gonna. What about LeBron doing a freaking
LeBron is the one
aerial tackle on this dude? Whatever.
What about the floor for being there?
Yeah. What about the nails?
I don't forgive LeBron, Kyrie, the man who built the floor. Man, I blame Bill Russell for making us into a franchise. No, I'm kidding.
10. Are you about to go or can I go?
I have a quick one.
Okay.
So
don't touch that one in Dallas.
What 10 says there's a quick one. I wanted to touch Dallas.
Actually, we all want to touch Dallas.
I'm the only one that's gonna get my hands on Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh no. You could say the top. Can I do the little Dallas move? I'm gonna do the little Dallas move.
No, I want to do the little Dallas. No, go ahead.
I really like.
You want the little Dallas
the Mavericks? I really like Dallas got Daniel Gafford. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love it. No, I love
Daniel Gafford is a great
He was hooping today. He was.
Daniel Gafford, if he just came from the Wizards, he could have helped a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavs saw what he could do. I really like what they did, but they made a bigger move. What was the bigger move they did, Big Fish?
The Dallas Mavericks traded Grant Williams, right? And hey, I don't want to do him disjustice, right? So I'm gonna make sure I say the correct pick that they did. So it was boom, 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 boom. Don't worry, I'm looking at my catalog. Just give me 1 second.
Yep.
They offloaded Grant Williams with they had to package that boy with a first round pick to get off. We're talking about Dallas Mavericks with scarce assets to begin with. All right,
it just didn't work. It didn't work.
And Seth Curry.
You leave him out of this. He was a filler. We're talking about Grant Williams, okay? I'm talking about a guy in the offseason that the media was saying Boston lost a lot of toughness. Boston, I don't know how Boston's gonna recover from this. You got Dallas Mavericks saying, "Steal, we stole him."
But Big Fish, you gotta think about it on paper. Sorry to cut you off, but you gotta think about it on paper. When he first joined the Mavericks, we're kind of applying what he did, the good things he did with the Celtics, and try to put it into what they did in the Mavericks. They're like, he's gonna be a corner sitter. All he has to do is hit corner threes and defend for Luka. And we thought it was gonna work.
It's not his fault. You know whose fault it is? Mike Budenholzer. How dare you leave him open in the corner and let him hit 7 threes like that?
Also, put a false picture
give
on
him
him.
A legacy. How
put a
dare
false
you?
Picture on him.
You wrote him a check that you were talking so much he can't even write these checks anymore. All right,
it got him paid.
Luka got
tired of him. Listen, in the first game, PJ Washington is already 10 times the player that Grant Williams is. In the first game, I watched it. And this is a damn shame. I'm happy Grant Williams got his money because it's all guaranteed.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say I feel sorry for him because now it's another person I like in Charlotte, and now I got to wait 4 years for someone to save him.
No, I mean,
I think he'll get moved again.
The thing is, he had his opportunity. Like Dallas was the ultimate. Like, hey, we don't really have a role, but we have a position, and we need you to step up.
Yeah.
All right.
The thing with Dallas. Sorry, go ahead.
He didn't step up.
Did you hear the reports coming out that he rubbed players the wrong way?
Oh, he rubbed me the wrong way while he was here too.
Why?
Getting in Jimmy's face in the crucial moments in the game. He rubbed me the wrong way, Guled. Dude pisses me off.
That was Jason Tatum's best friend.
I don't know who gassed him up. Guled, if you actually watched him on the Celtics, he argued with the ref more than Tatum.
That's crazy.
This dude will get blocked on a layup. Stay and talk to the ref on the other side.
Nah, that's not your job.
No, that's not your role.
I'll tell you why. Listen, I'll tell you why people Celtics didn't mind him and Mavericks didn't like him. When he came to the Celtics, he was a young player, all right. And yes, I think he did the way he behaved. Everything is different from a lot of other NBA players. All right, and for lack of a better word, I'm not doing this to insult him. I just think, lack of a better word, he's corny at times, right? Which is whatever, right? But grew with the Celtics. The players, the Celtics liked him because they watched him become that player that did what he do. Imagine the worst player team. You're like, wow, this guy 4 years later or 3 years later has really grown into himself, becoming a solid player. And then that worst player that became a solid player goes to a team and they're like, okay, and he's doing the same behaviors, but they didn't grow to like him. They just started off with this is your first impression of him.
Yeah,
a new guy in the office. You're like, brother, what the hell are you doing? You're not some kid from college anymore. So I think maybe
a half a year.
I mean, with all that being said, I do think that the Mavs quietly made some really good moves, adding PJ Washington, who's someone who's going to give them probably 14 points. Can score in different ways. Losing Seth Curry is not the best thing, but they also got back a very underrated. A very underrated. I mean, Luka was taking all the shots anyways. They're getting back a very underrated player in Daniel Gafford, who I think will definitely get a lot more media attention now that
20-point
he's
bomb.
playing. Yeah, now that he's playing with Luka, those lobs are about to be insane. He defends the rim with a lot of passion, which is why he's always getting dunked on. Unfortunately, what's up?
Do they have the best big man rotation?
I still think
that's not superstars. That's not superstars. It goes Lively. It goes Lively, Gafford, and Maxi Kleber. Or you could throw in the other guy, Powell.
I do think the Knicks have a better big man rotation.
I don't know, man. The Mavs rotations low key moving.
I mean, I would say that the Mavs rotations makes the reason why it's so much better is because they also have Luka.
Yeah.
So that maximizes them offensively in ways that another point guard might not.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I do think the big dogs in the West made some great trades. I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanted to add. I mean, Hayward, I think, gives the Thunder some veteran presence that will help them out later in the season. They're getting ready to try to make a playoff push. Besides that, I mean, some quieter moves. Nothing really big from the rest of the. Wolves added Monte Morris. I think that could quietly become something interesting. Maybe
Who did that?
Huh? That was you.
I don't know.
That was you.
Not me.
Rockets traded for Steven Adams, who is literally,
I saw Oladipo's name in a trade, and I was just like, "What?"
I didn't. Apparently, he was playing for the Grizzlies. I had no idea. I had none. I was like, "What the hell?"
Oladipo has not been playing actually.
Yeah, no, but he just got his contract got offloaded somewhere. So
yeah, he's on the Grizzlies now. But those
can you touch on the Spencer thing?
What Spencer?
Oh yeah,
Dinwiddie.
Yeah. I just want to, I don't want to bring up nothing. I just want to set this up for you guys because I know you guys' as characters so up here, right? What happened to the game we love? Why was Spencer Dinwiddie at a Mavs game and then at a LA game last night? Talking to both GMs
because Spencer, but
I have a theory about Spencer Dinwiddie. I have a theory about Spencer Dinwiddie. The guy's an egomaniac. Okay, no one's noticed, but he quiet quit on the Nets for a month or two. All right, low energy, doesn't really want to play, no effort on the court, bad shot selection. If you talk to Nets fans, they'll tell you straight up. All right. I think he can't take it when he's not the man. You heard his back and forth with
LA?
You heard his back and forth. Wait. You heard his back and forth with Kuzma. He said he thinks he can be a third piece on a championship team. He said that. And now he's getting now he was put in a position where Mavs were basically really a little desperate to get him because that would really sweeten their trade, right? That whole window.
Yeah.
Lakers fans were dying just for anything. So they were kind of begging for him too. And he's thinking, these guys will love me. These guys want me. I feel important. This guy's an egomaniac.
According to Big Fish.
I'm glad you said that because this, and I'm going to use it as a transition. I'm letting you guys know right now. Right into the losers. There's two losers. I think Spencer Dinwiddie, a report is saying
he signed with the LA Lakers, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, he's signing with the Lakers. The reason I think the Lakers are a loser for this, right? I'll tell you why they're losers. What does Dinwiddie give them different at the point guard position that they don't already have?
I don't know.
Nothing. He's actually taking things away. Not a good 3-point shooter. Not a good field goal.
Even if exactly, he's a shooter, whether he's good or bad, whatever. He's a shooter who's not great at defense and not a great playmaker. Like
he could run on offense a little bit.
But you have LeBron. Like I'm saying, he's not like he's not like. You don't go and put him out there and say he's a secondary playmaker, right? Yeah. You have LeBron who's primary. He's not.
He has to be a primary.
Yeah, and him at primary is not great, which is the issue, right? So my
very questionable move.
To me, it just brings them another guy who needs minutes for the same position where they already have Gabe Vincent coming back from injury in a month. They have D'Lo. They have Austin Reeves. They have 4 of the same players.
Hey.
Am I going crazy?
Can we all give D'Lo a shout out for surviving the trade deadline?
And he's been playing great too. He's been playing. D'Lo has been playing great lately.
I'm fooled. I'm fooled. I'm fooled.
I'm not fooled.
Shout out D'Angelo Russell, man.
Sorry. Solid. Keep going.
No, this is the year he's gonna show us who he is.
I think he's trying to say now.
No.
D'Lo is gonna show us who he is.
Guys, stop falling. D'Lo is a streaky player. When he's hot, he's hot. There's no stopping him. But when he's not, he's not. All right, don't get it twisted.
When the world needed him most,
I still like
he
him.
vanished.
No, I like D'Lo, but you have to realize the streakiness. That's the thing. He's gonna be great at times for a stretch of games, and then he's gonna be terrible again. All right, not
Not
terrible.
true.
That's the wrong word.
Not
Terrible's
true.
the wrong word. Terrible's the wrong
Yeah.
word. But when,
Yeah.
when he's cold, he's cold. All right. Now, my other loser is everyone's loser. The Chicago Bulls have not made a trade for a player since August 2021.
Who was that last
that
player?
time-
Who was that last player? I swear.
It was for draft
Lonzo.
rights for a player in the second round. It wasn't even a real trade.
That person doesn't exist.
I mean, even in the NBA right now, okay.
That GM
And
is
let me tell
stealing
you,
money.
wait, we give Abdi everything you said about Pat Riley, blah blah. Let me tell you, at least Pat Riley's trying. He might be asleep here and there. I fully believe the Bulls GM is dead. He's not there right now.
He's stealing money, man.
He's not there. How do you not? And the fact that the Bulls are a franchise that we're so great back in the day, fell off just a little bit. We're competing. Got a young Derrick Rose competing again. I was okay. Here's the next wave. You got Zach LaVine. What are you gonna do next? Nothing. Not a
Wait,
goddamn
Sadik,
thing.
I have something to say about that. Sadik.
Sadik, what do you expect from a city that boos a GM that passed away?
That's crazy. But look, in that time, I just want to say, let's talk about the things that has happened since the last time the Bulls have traded. COVID. All right. Okay. All right.
How many wars?
Two. Wars all over the place. Okay. All right.
But Sadik,
Okay.
Sadik,
What,
let me cut them some bail. Man. Like I said in the last topic.
Go ahead. You're the Bulls lawyer right now. I'm putting you on the stand.
Do you okay, I'm the Bulls GM. Do I have a chance to win the title this year? Do I have a chance to win the title this year? Yes or no?
They haven't had a chance to win the title since.
Do you think?
I got you.
Do you think I'm a sneaky team that cannot even get out of the first round if we make the playoff past the play-in?
Not
Do you think I have a
Not
chance?
Not anymore. No.
Then why am I gonna go on a yard sale right now when I have all summer to do it?
Why are you paying DeMar DeRozan?
I could send him away this summer for a better price.
What's wrong with paying talent?
No, because the reason with the Bulls, you can't. The Bulls have been in limbo, right? Early on, they were competing. We're like, yo, this team is kind of hot. Everyone kind of knew, like, oh yeah, we're like the first time that all of them got together, right? We were like, yo, this team is hot. They got first in the East right before the All-Star break.
Games.
Remember? Right? No, right before the All-Star break. They were hot for a minute for 12 games. You're right. All right, and then everyone knew. Everyone in 5-on-5 said it too. We're like, yo, we know what the Bulls are though. Like, it's not enough star power, not enough good players on the team for them to win something. All right. Since that moment, they've been absolute dog shit. All right, absolute dog water. All right, and the fact that you haven't changed. Lonzo went out, and yes, Lonzo wasn't needed. If Lonzo was there, we're talking about a team I think that's fighting for a play-in. All right, maybe in the higher play-in. All right, I think Lonzo was that important. But since Lonzo's been out for the last 2 years, you do nothing. I'm talking to you, Bulls GM. I'm talking to you.
I know. I clocked out like the Bulls GM, man. My fault.
I tell you, you made your point. Man.
No,
we totally understand. I think what the Bulls are doing is very different than what the Heat have done or not done in the past.
They don't need to make a move right now.
Yeah, I do think that again, Sadik, they might be. They could try to use the excuse that I gave them this year, which is that a lot of these teams want to be very meticulous when it comes to these trades. It also doesn't help that Zach LaVine's injured.
Yeah,
it doesn't help that Zach LaVine's
actually does help. They're winning games.
I know, but I'm not. First of all, does that even help? Because you want a better pick. You want a better pick.
It feels better when you go home.
Guled, that's my thing. Guled.
Kobe White is having a coming out party.
By the way, this GM didn't draft Kobe White. I want you to know that he's having a great. This GM didn't draft him.
Yeah.
Guled, I want you to know what you're saying is that like they're in limbo. Are they good? Are they? If you want to compete for a playoff spot, fine. Get something that helps you. If you want to be a team that's like, okay, we're done. This is like we reached our ceiling. Let's rebuild. Then load off some contracts. But they have done neither. That's my issue. You can't like if they're limbo. Like if you're gonna be a team that's fighting in the 7th, 6th spot, maybe 8th. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. The fans will make your money. Head to playoffs, lose in the first round. And there's a paycheck in that. There's a paycheck.
I mean, no matter how bad you think they are right now, they're still 9th seed, better than the Hawks.
Yeah.
So I do still think that they are just seeing what they got this year, and then they're going to make the moves accordingly this summer. I in terms of other losers, I can't really think of any right off the bat. I do like that the Warriors didn't really do anything. I don't think they should rush it. There's a lot of questions that are going around right now with their whole franchise, whether or not what they should do with Clay. I think that's their biggest question mark right now. And then all the other teams, they are who they are right now. They didn't touch their roster. So I do think the biggest losers was probably the Bulls and the teams that were supposed to do what they're supposed to do did their moves. 76ers, I'm not gonna make them winners or losers. I'm very confused with the Buddy the Buddy Hield thing. It was kind of confusing to me. And
so you don't think they're a loser?
And helping the Bucks.
Oh,
I'm not exactly sure what
loser.
they were doing right there.
And I won't rant this time, but as a guy who I'm actually a fan of, I think he's a loser for kind of finessing. Peter Tucker's been trying to like finesse his way back to Miami with subtle hints and all this stuff. Brother, your contract was fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed. Go out there and hoop and shut the hell up. All right,
he's not allowed to hoop. They're not playing him. That's his point.
I understand that. Then guess what? I understand he wants to play. All right, but the subtle hit, like or not so subtle, really. All right, but brother, your contract's fully guaranteed. If the team doesn't want to play you,
Sadik is so confusing. One thing he wants dudes to be out there, giving that old school feeling, playing hard, but then he's talking about a guy that wants to go out there and play hard. Shut up, you're getting paid. God, this guy's confusing.
He's the problem.
Sadik's confusing, man.
Here's the thing. Come on and say, yo, I'm not happy. I'm not being. But he's doing he's doing like IG baddie. Like he's trying to be. Come on and say, I'm not happy.
He has.
That's for the other teams to know. He's not really happy with this situation. He's already relayed these feelings and grievances with the team already. He's letting the other teams know.
Save me.
You don't play this corporate game like them. You know? You don't
do
play
it
this.
first.
Yeah, like you got to
You
understand.
try to play by the rules. You try to play by the rules, but then you got to become a problem. That's why he should be talking to, instead of everybody, he should be talking to. He has the handbook on his team. Say, James, how do I get out of here? He'd be like, oh, have you read
James Harden knows.
page 17 of the James Harden trade handbook? No, he's like, brother, get out of my face. Go read that book. He'll tell you exactly what you need to do. He'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Show up at a club after a tough L, make sure everyone with the cameras on you, and you're having a great time. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how you get off a team. He has the handbook right there.
Says too? On the back of the book, it says asterisk for stars only. That's what it says right there.
Not true.
10, you got any losers before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I got a loser. And my loser. But I'll go ahead and say my loser. My loser is actually from the West. I know we talked about some East ones. And it's actually a team that someone had as a winner, even though I like the trade they made. My loser is OKC. So
what?
They're the big loser of the deadline for me. The thing is, I like their Gordon Hayward trade. I think they added a good veteran presence on the team. They're a very young team, and they're ahead of schedule per se, because I don't think they expect to be the second seed, and actually their second seed or first seed depending on the day. And the thing about them is, over the season, I've said it as well. If they really are serious about winning a title, I really thought they needed to add size on their team. They really needed another big, because if they're going to rely on Chet Holmgren to really carry the load as the big on their team, they're going to get bullied by the elite bigs, both on the East and even both on the West, and also if they make the finals, right? And this morning that we're recording, they actually signed Bismack Biyombo, but I don't think he does the job for them. He's
a serviceable guy now. He's a serviceable
we know if Bismack Biyombo breaks, I do not think he's going to be the guy that helps the case for the big. I think that with what they do with Gordon Hayward, they could have flipped him for a big, or they could have gotten Daniel Gafford before he went to the Mavs. They could have gotten Tillman before he went to the Celtics, but I don't know what they were really thinking about not getting a big concerted effort, because they have a real legitimate chance to make the NBA Finals, and I don't think they have a chance to win the championship, but to make the finals, they have a legitimate chance, and having a big was an essential piece for that.
I think they're trying to give their young guys a chance, but I think I think if you don't know this one move is going to be the move, and it's going to cost too much potentially, I don't think Gafford or Tillman would have costed that much, or if it messes up your rotations like
Yeah, because when you
cohesion
think
and
about it,
whatnot. I don't think you
yeah.
mess that up. I think you just you use this year as like you're playing with house money at this point. You had
Guled,
to
I was
schedule
about
it.
to say, wallahi, I had the same
Nah,
quote
we
ready to
can't think like
say.
that though.
No,
No,
Ted,
you
The
can
thing
think like that.
Ted,
You
I'll
no,
tell
can
you
think
why.
like
because
that.
no,
Ted,
think
You
about
have a
no. Let
top
me say one
five
thing.
NBA player. You have one of the
No,
best young players in the NBA with Chet Holmgren. You have
great
insane
young
think
role
about
depth.
this.
players.
You got a great system. You have
Ted, I have a question for you.
assets.
Ted, I have a question for you.
I think
Yes.
they're doing what the Knicks
Okay.
are doing.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Wait,
Ted, I have a
before I
question
speak,
for you.
Sadik,
Actually, no,
go.
sorry,
Go ahead,
wrong.
Sadik.
Ted, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If the Thunder lose in the first round, does anything really change for them?
Can I reply to your question with a scenario?
Go ahead. Talk to me.
When
Talk
was
to
the
me.
last when was the
Paint me a
last
picture.
time you guys remember the last time the OKC Thunder looked at their young team that was doing great and said, and went to the NBA Finals and said, "We're playing with house money. We'll be right back." That was when they had Kevin Durant, they had Russell Westbrook, they had James Harden. They said, "Oh, we have a lot of young players. I know we made it to the NBA Finals. We'll be back next year. We'll be back the year after that. We have a young squad." And what happens?
The
James Harden
Warriors
left
came.
because and yeah, the
But
dynasty happened.
anyone could have
James
been
Harden.
James Harden. They traded
No,
away Trey Mann. Is he
no,
James Harden?
no, but this is my point. There's my point. You can't take the team that you have right now for granted. They have a team right now that's good enough to make the finals, so they should treat it like
In
this
your
is the last.
opinion, they're good enough to make your finals.
In my opinion, yeah, of
Everything
course.
in
In my
our
opinion,
opinion, Guled.
they have a chance to make the finals. Let's be real. To be
They
honest,
don't. I don't know if they do.
I'm with you.
there's-
I'm with you. I'm with you, Ted.
I don't think Minnesota has a chance. If we're gonna
My
go there, I
Yeah,
think
I'm with
the
you.
only three
I don't
teams.
think they're better than the Nuggets. I don't think they're better than the Clippers. If they come up against the Suns,
To be
you
honest, I
never
didn't say they're
know.
the favorite. I think first of all, I do not believe in the Suns at all. I'm very well documented in saying that. But I
Well documented is
well,
crazy.
the
Big Fish,
Nuggets,
raise your hand, please.
yeah, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Thunder. I don't think they're gonna beat the Nuggets. I don't think they're gonna beat the Clippers. But I think they have a chance. But they should treat it like they're the favorites. And if we're looking at their team and saying what is the hole in the team that could take us out, it's not having a big. And I feel like they made a big mistake there.
Big mistake. Big
Big
mistake.
mistake.
Ted, can
Big
I hear
fish.
you respectfully? I disagree. All right, that's all I want to say. I think I'm good at playing with house money. I know the Thunder would happen, but they also let James Harden go for tax reasons and all that stuff. I don't think this is the same thing. I think they're gonna.
You never know. You never
All
know.
right, and and
I mean, you never know. You never know a lot of things, Ten. I mean, the
that's
Hornets
true.
didn't know they were
Which is
trading away.
why you
They
gotta
didn't know
go
they
for it
traded
now.
away Kobe Bryant, and they didn't know he was going to turn into that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
You gotta go for it now. That's why.
Fair
we'll
enough. Fair
see.
enough. Go
Let's
ahead. Go
see who
ahead, empty.
loses,
Wrap,
man.
wrap it up for
On the
ball.
same note that you guys were saying, I thought a team that should have been a loser in the East for me. I think Orlando should have been a little aggressive here. I thought they should have, took a swing at it. I thought they should have been in the mindset, hey, we're young, let's give ourselves the best chance with another piece. They have a lot of pieces on there that a lot of contenders would like,
Mm-hmm.
that they have a lot of picks that they could have moved, flipped. I just thought, they could have went for a couple pieces, maybe even a couple bench pieces to really maximize. But that's all I'll say. That was a great episode, guys. Great trade deadline.
It was a great episode.
Shout out to every GM besides Pat Riley.
No, I'm not a Bulls GM, guys. I want you to know. So I'm working for free. I don't do anything though. I just show up.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone. This was really fun, and now it's really All-Star breaks coming up, and we're on to our second half of the NBA season. We're almost at that time,
break.
guys.
Guys,
And let me do a random shout out that no one asked for. Cleveland Cavaliers. We're not going to get into it. We might touch it next week.
Though?
Quiet killers.
They have been absolutely nuts lately. I think they're like 18 or 19-1 or something in the last 20 games. They've been absolutely turned up the league. Donovan Mitchell's playing amazing.
In that span, they saw the Wizards, Spurs, or Charlotte.
I don't care.
10 times. Anyways, we're not gonna get into it. 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 We're not gonna get into it.
Next week's episode is Donovan Mitchell MVP candidate? Question mark. We'll talk about it.
Question mark. 10. Wrap up the show, man. Sadik's mic is.
Let's just
get us out of here.
Let's just wrap this up.
Great episode, guys. And like we said last week, we have some great clips coming on social media. Everybody follow us on 5on5 Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And like this video on YouTube. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, share with a friend. We're on the come up. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next Monday as always. See you later.